Hello adventurers, Euclid the Dungeon Master here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a subclass one of my players had asked me to brew up for him. Now, this subclass is not finished yet, it's just in early iterations, but it is available on dndbeyond.com, so you can go and check it out, and future iterations will be available there as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so if you're kind of reading some of this now, you can see this is called a Potions Master, and it's a base class for Warlock. My player wanted to play something like an alchemist, but he's kind of new to 5e, and I started showing him the artificer alchemist, which is severely underpowered and just not very good. And it just wasn't what he wanted as an alchemist. What he really wanted was a potions master. He wanted to be Professor Snape, let's be real. He wants to cast spells and make cool potions, possibly even poisons, but most of all, he wants to brew things up. And so I had to brew up a new subclass for him. So let's kind of take a look at it. Again, this is in like early iterations, so it's not completely done, but I do have a little bit of flavor text here as to kind of how he's getting his abilities. And just enough for him to basically get started so that we could start our session, which, if you're interested, all these sessions are being recorded in my Fall of Skyway Eberron campaign, and they will all be available right here on YouTube as well. So you'll be able to kind of see this class play as we're basically play testing it while we're play testing this new campaign that I wrote. So let's go ahead and look at this. The Potions Master is a class designed for the person that wants to be constantly concocting new elixirs to take away pains and aches, or create them. Using otherworldly ingredients and a combination of their own blood, the Potion Master creates bubbling liquids that allow them to draw upon power from beyond the mortal plane, forcibly ripping it from their rightful owners. Because of this, many Potion Masters are constantly hounded by otherworldly beings seeking the person that is draining them, forcing them into patronage. The Potions Master can not only brew up many well-known potions, in later levels they are also able to combine the effects of known potions to make their own unique combinations. And so this really, that idea of them being able to make their own unique potions was extremely important when I was considering designing this subclass, because that's really what he wanted, right? He wants to be a potions master. He wants to be Professor Snape. He wants to be able to concoct whatever he wants and make something unique as well. And so you will have that ability later on in those levels. As any subclass is for the Warlock, you're going to have your expanded spells. I did copy this from the Fiend, so unfortunately I haven't changed this title yet, but I copied it to get the template, because for a subclass to be published, you have to have things at certain levels. It has to match up with what the norm is for a Warlock subclass. So I got that template there, so I will need to change that. Anyway, though, this is our expanded spell list. I kind of thought like things that were like altering yourself, like a polyjuice type of potion, or like locating those herbs and plants or like animals that you need those parts from to create those potions. And then another piece of flavor there is the way we kind of thought it would work is like before he's casting these spells, sometimes you'll see the Potions Master like whoop, just down a potion and then or down that potion and dragon's breath out. And we thought that was just, again, something really cool. It had a lot of flavor to it. So these are our expanded spells. And those, again, early iteration, subject to change, but it's something that he can use right away so we can start play testing and he doesn't have to play some other thing he doesn't want to play in the meantime. Master of Herbs. Starting at first level, you gain proficiency in the herbalism skill. You can also use this skill to craft some basic potions that are listed below. Now, this is a reduced list, as I haven't decided 100% on what basic things I want there, because you gotta balance that. Because I mean, being able, even if they're basic potions, if they're able to easily and cheaply get like certain potions early on, it can make a lot of challenges or puzzles, things like that, very trivial. So this list will be expanded, but I did give him some potions to start off with. Another thing to note here is that starting at third level, the research the Potion Master has done is paying off even more. He naturally understands the ingredients he's being given, even more ideas to work with, and expanding his potions knowledge. Duration to concoct these potions is 16 hours unless otherwise noted. And the reason being is these are much stronger potions that normally actually take much longer than that 16 hours that's listed. So we have, for example, Life's Liquor Potion. And if we want to, we can go ahead and open this just so that we can, oh, let's go back there. We can go ahead and open this here in a new tab, just so you guys can get an idea of what those potions are like. GM Binder, just so you guys know, made this awesome potion and brooding and ingredient gathering for D&D 5e by Piccolo 917. Very, very cool. But he's given us a ton of stuff to work with here that has made brewing this Potions Master class much easier. So for example, let's try and find this Life Liquor. This potion has a strong pink color, is completely clear with the image of a red heart floating in the middle, no matter the angle you look at it. You get 2d6 plus 2 temporary hit points. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're able to just have these all the time, very, very strong. And you'll also note these usually are 24 hours of work to create. So we've cut down that time significantly. And then some of these even more, like Bottled Rest, for example. Bottled Rest is very, very powerful. And it is an extremely rare potion here. These usually take 80 hours of work. We've cut that down to 32 hours because he's a potions master. He should be able to get these things done quicker or at a higher quality. One of the two or both. It's just, how can you call yourself a potions master if you're not a master of potions? And Bottled Rest, a purple potion seemingly filled with clouds that continuously roll past the upper part of the solution. Drinking this restores 3 hit die. Huge. To get those hit die back, to be able to have those rests just boom like that, very, very big. This will be like dungeons, long combats, like where you have a big battle, some time in between, and then you're going back into battle. This can keep them out there much longer, where they're not having to return to town. Like I said, very powerful. Liquid Luck as well. All very strong stuff. Let's move on now. And also one thing to note here is that the price that it costs you to make these things, that price includes the cost of vials and all ingredients, assuming you haven't collected them themselves. So they would have to pay out these amounts, and then you're just under the understanding that they had went to a store to buy those goods, and that's why it costs them this money to create those potions. Next, we have a Spark of Genius. Starting at 6th level, you can craft any potions from the Master of Herbs class feature instantly at no cost once per short rest. You can also craft any potions from the, I called it the Master of Herbs. That needs to be fixed. That was just, it was dumb and I had to put it in there fast. But from the second portion, the level 3 portion, you can craft those instantly for half the cost once per long rest. The reason that's separate is obviously those are much stronger potions in this rare version here, or in this rare set of potions for the 3rd level. And we're making sure we kind of have some sort of attempt at balance there, even though we are, again, early on, still playtesting it. Once you use this feature, you can't use this again until you finish a short or long rest, respectively, dependent on which potion was made. This, at 10th level, is where they get to be a real potions master, where they get to start making things that are unique to themselves. And again, we've made a kind of a point value system here to try and balance it out a little bit. That way they aren't able to just go crazy and be like, okay, we're going to get 30 potions, combine all those effects into one potion. That would be dumb and really overpowered. So, mix and match. Starting at 10th level, you can choose any potions you know how to craft and combine the effects, creating a new potion altogether. Feel free to name them. The DC for the roll is decided based off the rarity of the most rare potion combined. Each potion has a point value as well based off the rarity of the potion, cannot exceed a value of 35 points. This again is where this list here that they've given us, where they've defined rarities and given us all these potions here on GM Binder. Again, huge thanks to all of the DM and GM community, but especially in this case, Piccolo 917, for this amazing supplementary kit. But using that kit, since we have those rarities defined, we can use this point system. So the DC for the roll is decided based off the rarity of the most rare potion combined. Each potion has a point value as well based off the rarity of the potion and cannot exceed a value of 35 points. So for example, if you start with a rare potion, you're not going to be able to get to more than 35. So that instantly puts you at 25. So you could combine one rare potion and then 3 commons, or 1 common and a common, or 1 uncommon and a common, sorry. But you would never be able to combine like 50 effects. And I'm still thinking we might have to balance this a little bit just for like these, for example, because 35, that's 7 different effects. So that could potentially get out of hand. So there may be more balancing. It's early on. But I did think the idea that they can make their own unique potions and kind of mix and match effects was very cool. This one is something that will be very handy in combat, and it doesn't start till 14th level though, which is kind of, I really like this ability, but it is unfortunate that it's 14th level because that follows the template for Warlock subclasses. But you just don't get that far usually in a D&D campaign. But starting at 14th level, when you're hit by a creature in combat, as a reaction, you quickly rip the cork from a potion with your mouth and then down it. And you can do this once every other round of combat. So essentially, you can turn your Warlock into almost like a very tanky type character, because he can run in and really get up in the fray, which is not something you typically see a Warlock do. But being able to down potions every other round of combat with a reaction once you're hit would be huge. And again, this is one of those things where I'm like, it might end up being a little overpowered, but we just don't know till we play test it. And these things, again, early version, so they will get changed. But that is the Potion Master subclass. I will have the link for the subclass within the video description, as well as the link for this amazing supplementary content by Piccolo917 for potion brewing and ingredients, because it's really, the subclass doesn't require it, because you could get these potions like ingredients and different things like that from other resources, but this is the resource I used when creating the subclass, so it just makes the most sense to use that resource. Anyway, I hope you guys really did enjoy the content. If you guys have any suggestions as how to change it, maybe suggestions for helping balance some of those abilities that seem like they might be a little OP later on in levels, feel free to leave those comments down below. And if you had to make a subclass for one of your players recently, go ahead and leave a comment about that as well. I love hearing about unique things that other people like DMs and players have come up with. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys next time.